Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? This fine Tuesday. How you doing? I thought I'd just have a seat with y'all. It's like 5:19 when I looked at the clock. Here, Central Time. I don't know what time it is. That would be there where you are. But I work from home today. Y'all, the struggle has been real for me, y'all. I had to pull out Old Faithful. And I've been using that since Sunday. It's been rough. It's been rough. So I'm hoping I get to moving around a lot better. Still in some pain. I've taken 2 half a pain pills. I haven't taken a whole one because I've still been working. So I didn't want to kind of knock myself out, but it did help me sleep because the pain has just been real. And I'm praying that it just knocks itself out before next week. I told y'all I had that catfish because I had soup. So I had that catfish. I hadn't cooked it. And I still got 3 pieces. It was actually 4 pieces in there. I didn't realize it was 4 pieces in that particular container. And so I baked it in the oven today about 1:30. And I ate a piece of that and I put some frozen asparagus over in the air fryer. And so for lunch, I had a piece of baked catfish and some asparagus. And I really don't feel up to a lot, but I know I need to eat something. I'll be hungry later. So I just got some grapes and strawberries here. Let me say my grace, y'all. Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for my many blessings, God. I thank you for everyone that's gathered here today, dear God. Thank you for the food I'm about to receive, for the nourishment of my body. In Christ's name, amen. So, yeah, so I just got some grapes and some strawberries that I had cut up. And I thought I'd come on and talk with you all a little bit. And I kind of want to talk about this because I didn't forget. Y'all remember before Christmas, I showed y'all those those gifts I was giving, the little binders that I had something for them for 12 months of the year. Well, if you recall, month 8, I don't know, I just skipped around in the book, but August, I said, I gave them cash. And I said, after you have done the rest, don't forget to stock invest. And I said specifically to purchase some shares of stock with dividends. And so someone mentioned and asked me about that. And I just wanted to kind of go into that a little bit. But before I go into that, this is what I do personal in my life. And this is what I started Amber doing. And my brother does this as well. We all have different investment strategies, but some of the things that I can kind of share with you here. I'm going to share with you what I do. And I used to talk about it periodically, and I'll start back at least once or twice a year, kind of mentioning it if people are interested. Just let me know if you're interested in doing it here. I have individual stock accounts that I have with Webull. You can buy partial shares, and I'll leave the link below with Webull. If you want to, you'll get some free stock if you decide to sign on and become an investor. And I have a Fidelity account that I contribute to every month. It's just an individual account. I'm like, if something happened and I have to sell everything, I will. And I have my Roth IRA with Vanguard. And I have a 401k, of course, with my employer, but that's also with Vanguard. I also have another little account. It's not much in that one, with Charles Schwab. And I have that because I used to be with Ameritrade, and they changed over to Charles Schwab, but I moved most of my stuff away from there. And it's between Webull. Most of my investments are in Webull. My personal investments are either in Webull or Fidelity. But I do have just a little tinge of something because I had a option play over on Robinhood. I was going to close Robinhood, but I do have a little option play that was later out in the year. And I don't want to go into what, option plays and stuff are. Like I said, I'm no financial advisor. This is just things I do personally. I have lost, I have won. And so to speak, it's so funny. when I talk about this, I want to just mention that, I've been investing since 1995. I was working at a company called First Tennessee, which is now First Horizons. And that was my first introduction into investing. And to this day, even when I've sold, I still own those first shares that I've ever. Those are the only shares I actually have physical stock certificates to as well. I actually still own those shares today. I don't know if it was nostalgia. It's not like they're worth a whole lot. I haven't had some in my stock portfolios. I still have some more shares of First Horizon, but it's just something sentimental to those that I won't, sell them. I don't know. I'm not saying I never will, but I just haven't to this day. So there's that. And that is what I'm going to use them as an example. I have not sold those stock. I have not sold those stock. I don't know what, ever since then it's been electronic. I have exactly 5 shares of physical paper stock. Y'all kid y'all not. And I don't know why I won't also get this automatically deposited in my account. Because like I said, all my other ones are reinvested. They used to have a reinvestment program, but they stopped it. I get 77 cents. So y'all keep on from 1995. Not that I can recall. From 1995, I can't even do the math. It's been most of the time, but here the last few years, I know I've been getting 77 cents every quarter for those shares. 77 cents. And that is like, that's income. That's income. 77 cents a quarter. Now, why you might say, well, that ain't no money. That's no money. But keep in mind, I also told you I own more shares of that company in my stock portfolio. And that's not the only shares I own that are dividend shares in my portfolio. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I have gotten paid for my initial investment from those shares. It hasn't been 77 cents. It's been different amounts. But for the most part, we're going to say 50 cents. We're just going to kind of average it out to 50 cents a quarter. Okay? That's $2 a year since 1995. I guess y'all said that ain't no money. That's money I didn't have to do anything to work for, and I wouldn't have gotten that in anybody's savings account off those little small amount of shares, is what I'm saying. So I always say, getting back to that, for my Roth IRA and my 401k, I let Vanguard handle that and pay the administration fee. I don't know what it is. It's not very much for them to handle it, and they manage, and they're supposed to manage your losses. And I pray that's what they're doing. Looks like from my account, I keep a check on it, they're doing pretty good. Most of those are mutual funds, not individual stock. Most of those are Vanguard funds, and then some of it is bond. Because you kind of let them know what you feel like you can tolerate. And I, tolerate so much. In my Roth IRA and my personal account, I mimic a lot of what goes on in my 401k. However, I choose to have individual stock, dividend stock in there. I choose to pick some ETFs and bond stock there. And I have a couple of growth stock, which I make thinking, if this company blow up, then I'm going to be set. It might happen. It may not happen. Who knows? But for the most part, I kind of am. My tolerance risk level is very low, especially given my age. So, with that being said, I've kind of explained what a dividend stock is. I can tell you these are the companies some of the companies I choose to invest in. One of my senior vice presidents, when I first started working at FedEx, we talked. And he said everywhere that they went to work, his parents invested in. So I said, And of course, FedEx was one of them. So his parents had gained quite a lot of financial gain from doing so. I didn't ask him where his siblings worked, but for example, he worked at FedEx. So I do that also. Now, I invest in the companies, my family members working, because of course I don't have one child. So I invest in those companies because I figure if they employ them, I want them to stay in business. And that's just something I do. That's not my main goal. But companies like Coca-Cola, this company called MO, it's like a subsidiary of Philip Morris. Companies like PepsiCo, Kraft Heinz Food, Apple, Facebook, Google. I'm just giving you some examples of some things that's in my portfolio. Company that you might not know, Southwestern Capital. As far as real estate, I do REITs. O is one of the REITs. Maine, and that's Real Estate Investment Trust. I have some funds, that international fund, the S&P, a real estate fund, and an international fund that I invest in. As far as mutual funds and things of that nature. Of course, companies, I work for FedEx, but I also invest in UPS. I also invest in a LTL carrier called Old Dominion, a freight line carrier along home. These are companies I feel like, did I say Coke and Pepsi? These are companies I feel like are long-standing. And some people consider that safe. I don't know how safe it is. I mean, they can have something go wrong in it like anywhere else. But those are companies every quarter, some of them monthly. I get dividends every month. So that's like a set it and forget it. You're constantly getting paid. Right now, I reinvest most of those. A couple of them I don't reinvest, but most of those, because I've got an amount of shares that I want in those companies. Most of the companies I reinvest my dividends in. So it's automatic. It's set up automatic. That's why I said I don't own any paper shares through the brokerages. It's an automatic reimbursement thing, and you can select that. I don't think Webull has that option, but with Fidelity and Schwab, you most definitely, they're on autopilot, and Vanguard as well. So, and I don't intend to stop reinvesting those dividends until I retire. And then I will use those dividends as a form of income for me monthly. Whatever dividends I get, I'll probably withdraw every quarter, across my investment portfolio. I'll withdraw the dividends. I will no longer reinvest, but keep the main investment still locked. But I will withdraw the dividends as a form of income in my retirement years, is my plan. Do I recommend investing? Yes. Options is a different story, and I've lost money on options. It's really a form of gambling, basically, because you're hoping that this company, the share is going to go up or down or this way or that way. You can become very rich in those, and you can also become very poor if you don't use some sensibility. So I normally set my limit every year to $1,000 of option play. And either I lose it or I win or gain, either way. But if I lose it, it's gone. Now, if I do gain, what I do is I put money into dividend stock and I play with the profits in that same $1,000 range throughout the year. That's just my investment plan. I do recommend investing for those who are looking for other ways to generate income. I will tell you, some stock, you know you're not going to get anything out of it. I'm going to use this as an example. Amber preferred, now we do other things. We travel other places. We go other places, you know, but she loves to cruise. One thing Amber going to do is take a cruise, right? And she said she recognized that early on that she really liked to cruise. She said after her first cruise, she was pretty much hooked. And so we've been on numerous of cruises, as you all can see. And it's a fun way to vacation and go see other places and kind of see if you want to go. You know, the ports give you an idea to see if you want to go to different places, you know, back to visit or whatever. And there's plenty to do on the ship. You know, entertainment, fun things to do. You get off and, like I say, visit the different ports and stuff when you go. So it's a nice way to vacation. Well, Carnival, now, for example, I told her to buy dividend stock for Christmas. But I've already given Amber her birthday present because we're going next week on vacation. I gave her a substantial amount of money to do things she wanted to on the cruise, so it could be some of her spending money. But I also gave her a portion of her birthday money, and I told her specifically to buy her some shares of Carnival Cruise. Now, Carnival got rid of their dividends during the pandemic. Now, who says they might return? Because, of course, cruising, the cruise ship industry has kind of regained it, and they're doing a lot better. They may return their dividends. So you're not really getting anything from Carnival right now as far as dividends are concerned. However, your hope is that the stock will continue to increase in value. Because, say, during COVID, you know, the shares of Carnival that I have, I don't know that I paid, I can't even tell y'all the average price I paid for them. But it was low. And it's not that it's up much, but it's up now. And if I wanted to sell it for profit, I could. You know, and it will be considered long-term capital gains because I've had them more than a year. You know, but the benefit to her, and if you know you cruise, if you have 100 shares, that's all you need, is 100 shares of Carnival, right? And you go on a cruise, depending on the length of the cruise, you could get $250 in onboard credit. So, for example, the length of the cruise we're going now on, that qualifies for $100 of onboard credit that you can spend on the cruise, and that's just the benefit of owning shares of Carnival. And like I said, if you have that benefit and they return the dividends, you're just sitting golden. If you know you're going to be on a cruise, you know, if you're going on a cruise, and I don't know if any of the other cruise lines, and we do have intent on going on other cruise lines, if they have that benefit, but I'm not going to be trying to own every cruise line if they have that benefit or not. I don't know. So, I just know that Carnival does. So that's another benefit in lieu of, you know, getting a regular dividend stock. And that's what they say. You want something that, you know, earn in your sleep if you can. And so that is the thing that I do for investing. And I hope that my investments grow. And that's another asset in your life. That's another way to build wealth in your family. But I just kind of want to touch bases. If you have any questions, feel free. If I can't answer them, I'll try to, or I will steer you in the right direction. Because like I said, by no means am I an expert. I invest in companies that I like. I told my brother I just always wanted a share of Disney. I wanted to own some Disney. I wanted some Johnson & Johnson. I don't know why I had it in my head. I wanted to own some Johnson & Johnson. It's just stuff like that. And some of those, I don't even have a lot of shares, but it's just the companies that I want to invest in that have been long-standing, you know, Pfizer and technology companies, you know, things of that nature that I was interested in. I chose to invest in. And of course, my brother has different things that he invests in that I don't invest in. When he be talking about it, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not interested. You know, and of course, some it maybe blow up, you know, for example. You know, you just don't know. But I hope I know this is a long talk when some people are not interested in the financial aspect of it. Because again, I'm no expert. This is just a personal thing I do for my life. So I encourage it if you can, invest in. Like I said, if something should happen and I need it, I will sell this, everything. It may take like a week to settle, but I would do that to kind of tide myself over until I can see a clear day. But my goal is to have that in place to supplement my retirement income is my goal, and still have those main shares intact. And guess what? I kind of instilled in Amber, and I guess we used to watch back in the day. I don't know if anybody else watched this, but I used to watch the Susie Orman show all the time. And I miss her. I miss her show. And so I'm working now to pay down debt and do some other things. Could I pay out my debt fast if I wouldn't invest? Yeah. But I choose to do things simultaneously. I don't want to not do one and risk that potential growth income to not invest. And while I did a thing and I showed y'all what I made on YouTube, so y'all know by no means is this a large channel. I don't make a whole lot of money on here. But out of the money I make and giving back and everything. So even if I was to stop doing YouTube today, I still say I'll get a little check from YouTube. I'll get money and income from YouTube long after, because I do invest. I make myself get a dividend stock of something from my YouTube pay every month. I take a portion of it and put in a dividend stock, something that I'm going to continuously get returned from. So that was my little discussion. I hope I answered the question, because I know I was all over the place, just kind of giving you the background of it. And like I said, if you want to start an investment account, I don't know how much. It's very little that you need to start with. I'll leave a link below on Webull, a link below, and so you can open up your account. And I say, once you, I think, make your initial deposits, and I think I'll get something too if you use my link. But you'll get some partial shares or something to that effect. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I want you to know, like I said, I'm trying not to take another, but my foot and my knee is on one. I've been using this Biofreeze. It ain't helping. It's just been, on. It's just a situation. But I'm glad. I hope it gets itself, like I said, over with before next week. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, and I want y'all to have a wonderful and blessed night. I want you to know you're loved. I love you, but God truly loves you the most. Remember to always be kind to yourself and others. Be joyful and be blessed. Love you. Bye.